Hello everyone! So I've had this iPad and Apple Pencil for about 10 months now. I bought it to make digital art with because I've heard so many good things about it and I was curious. And I'm almost ashamed to say this, but in these 10 months I haven't drawn anything on it, not a single art piece. Honestly, I feel intimidated. I have used Photoshop and a Wacom tablet for about 15 years now. Can I even learn to use a new drawing software like Procreate and use it as smoothly as I use Photoshop? Well, that is what I'm gonna find out about today. And to my help, because I need all the help I can get, I have today's sponsor, Skillshare, which is an online learning platform and community with thousands and thousands of classes in illustration, photography, writing, food, and Procreate, and much more. Premium membership gives you unlimited access to all of their classes, which are held by passionate and professional creators, so you know you will get high quality content that will help you to achieve any artistic goals that you may have in 2019. Skillshare is more affordable than many other learning platforms out there. An annual subscription is less than $10 a month. You can sign up using the link in the description box below, and the first 500 people to use the link will get 2 months of Skillshare for free. So if you have been thinking about learning something new or just deepen your current skills, why not do so now? So I took a few classes to get some different perspectives from different artists, and all of them were very helpful. One of them was by Jerome Vogel. He went through all the different features from setting up the canvas to shortcuts, using layers and all the different tools and how to use them. It was super informative and easy to follow, thankfully. So just after watching these lessons, I felt much more confident. It does also really help that Procreate has a very user-friendly interface. Everything is very minimalistic and well organized and much less intimidating than I first thought. So to get more used to the program, I just started to play around with the different brushes and just looking around and testing different things. And one thing I noticed right away is that I am so super impressed by this pencil or pen. Using a graphite brush with a gray color, it feels just like using a regular graphite pencil, but without the smudging, of course, which is a huge plus. And you can actually tilt the pencil, so you will get this wider, softer effect, just like with a real graphite pencil when you're drawing with the side of the pencil nib. So that was really cool and useful, especially for shading, and I will use that a lot later. And I have to say, I super enjoyed sketching in this program. It feels very natural and the pen pressure is just awesome. So for this piece, I first wanted to try out a Lineless Style, just as Jerome Vogel showed in his tutorial, and I think it looked really great. I really like this lineless look, but I somehow couldn't get it quite right. The edges looked very wobbly and uneven, so I figure I need a little more practice to get more used to and comfortable with the selection tool, I think it's called. You draw around an area with a selection tool and you will get this marked space that you can fill in with a color, and it will only go into the area you have selected, and you don't have to do any line art or anything. It is very similar to the lasso tool in Photoshop, but way better in my opinion, since you don't have to do the whole selection in one go, and if you lift up the pen you can just continue where you left off, while in Photoshop if you lift up the pen you will have to start all over again. So anyway, I decided to go with outlines, and I just continued using the 6B graphite pencil brush since I really like this organic look. I love digital art, but I don't like it when it looks too smooth and plasticky, you know, too perfect. So let's talk about what I'm drawing. I wanted to draw an animal and I wanted to draw food. I'm regretful to say it, but I've eaten way too much junk food lately, but that at least inspired me to draw a raccoon because they literally eat trash. So I made it eating pizza and having all of these junk food items circling around it. I have actually never seen a live raccoon, I think. I don't even think we have them here in Sweden, but I've heard it can be quite annoying having them around your house. So what are your experiences with raccoons if you do have them where you live? And what is your favorite junk food? Let me know in the comments below. Pizza and potato chips are never safe around me, at least. I noticed that the more I used this program, the more comfortable I felt, which is quite natural. As I mentioned before, the interface is very minimalistic and easy to understand. I still had a little trouble navigating around and finding certain things, but I think the more I draw and use the program, the more fluid the whole drawing process will be. As I said, I'm so used to Photoshop and the way I work there, but many of those things I can actually transfer to Procreate, so that is to my advantage at least. And another thing I find very useful is portability, and it sounds like I'm reviewing the iPad, which I'm not really, I'm just sharing my whole experience. Anyway, when drawing on the computer, whether you're using a drawing tablet or not, you're kind of stuck there, unless you're using a laptop perhaps, but there's still a lot of things you have to move around. I feel with iPad, you can very easily bring it with you and you can sit and draw wherever you like on the sofa or in bed or at the bus or train. What's also very nifty is that Procreate automatically records a time-lapse video of your art. So I think that could be an easy way for me to share more of my sketching process in my videos. I usually like to do them off camera while I'm feeling relaxed and watching YouTube or listening to music or something like that. So I think that can be very useful. I often do my sketches digitally anyway, since it is more easy to move things around and resize things. So yeah, I mainly use the 6B pencil brush for all of the shading and textures and stuff, and that is just so typical me though. Whenever I find something that I like, I tend to stick to that, unfortunately sometimes. I do the same thing in Photoshop. I have like 3 brushes that I like to use. One is the basic round one and an airbrush brush, and one that is very similar to this pencil brush. But I'm still a beginner at Procreate, so I didn't want to complicate it too much for me. But yeah, I really like this pencil brush. It gave very nice and natural texture, like a color pencil or crayon texture kind of. So was it possible for me to learn a new drawing program? Yeah, I definitely think so. I mean, I honestly didn't think I would fail. It was more about if I would feel comfortable and work as smoothly as I do in Photoshop. And yes, I think with a little more practice, I would actually prefer Procreate because of the way you work with the shortcuts and you have the touch features and you can move around the canvas more easily and smoothly, which makes you feel more in control of what you're doing. I do miss a few shortcuts though, but I have also not explored everything so far, so maybe I'm just missing something. I also need to learn not to press so hard. I noticed I got very heavy-handed at some points, and I was almost worried I would destroy the iPad. I'm happy I took the time to finally learn and explore Procreate, and I really liked the art that came out of it. It was definitely a positive experience, and now I can stop feeling guilty for not using the iPad for drawing as it was mainly intended for. So thanks Skillshare for helping me with that and for sponsoring this video, and thank you guys for watching. If you want to try out Skillshare yourself, check out the link in the description box below to get 2 months of Skillshare for free for the first 500 people. And I know it is sponsored, but I do mean it when I say that Skillshare can really help you if you want to learn something new. So keep learning and keep drawing, my happy cats. Bye!